Oh, there you are.
What is up, y'all? How you guys doing today?
Hey, Brandon.
The raw dogs in the house, man. The raw dogs.
Nice. Okay. Hey, Brandon. Thanks for accommodating this interview. If you don't know, we're from the Philippines,
Oh
and
man.
UFC is huge here, and just a huge fan base, and everyone really looks forward to all the fight nights, all the big numbers, and it's aired here live every Sunday on
Oh,
Sundays. So Sunday
okay.
morning, right? So Sunday morning, so it's evening, and you guys Saturday evening.
I'd watch Pride. And I don't remember what day I would stay up watching Pride, but we'd stay up all night during the summers, just stay up watching Pride through the night.
That's right. That's right. So, but it's a good thing it's in the morning, man. It's at least
Yeah.
what does it usually start? Depends. If like nine in the morning here or something, and it goes until 1 in the afternoon. Those are the big numbers. But I think for your fight night, it's gonna start at 5 a.m. So that's a good 3-4 hours right there, man. So
Okay, yeah.
probably catch some people still awake or
Yeah.
just waking up this thing.
Or
But
waking up
anyway,
early.
yeah. So anyway, that's my colleague here, Rick Olivares. He's our PR guy. So he will conduct the interview with you. So it's probably take about maximum 10 minutes. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So I will disappear for a while. Then I'll come back later. I'll just have a quick photo with you before we end.
All right,
All right.
cool.
All right. Hey, Brandon, how's everything and how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How was training camp?
Oh, it was awesome. It was a little different, but it was cool. I got to slow things down a little bit and prepare specifically for Bontorin, which was really nice.
Um, Heading into this fight, how's your health? Because I know that you were bogged down with that shoulder injury. I hope you're all healed up from that one and you're coming into this fight with no knocks, knock on wood.
Yeah, for sure. So as far as the shoulder surgery goes, I'm about a year out from when I got the surgery, like exactly a year out. So this is probably when I should have accepted my first fight back, but I'm feeling good, man. Everything's back to normal. I'm doing PT on it on a daily. Thank you to Barwis. So I'm just staying busy with it and just doing everything kind of right by it. Thanks to the UFC and Barwis physical therapy.
Wonderful news. Uh, Obviously, without saying, this is a massive fight, for you personally, because you started out like a house on fire, and unfortunately, the results of the last couple of ones did not go your way. Your thoughts about the bigness, the massiveness of this fight for you, and I know that, uh, and I'd love for you to get a win because a win will, you'll be probably a fight or two away from title contention and all that. But talk about the massiveness of this fight against your opponent, Rogerio. This is a tough Brazilian dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a hard matchup. Bontorin has been in the top 10 in the UFC flyweight division for a long time, and he's been representing the UFC flyweights for kind of a long time. But that being said, I don't put too much pressure on myself. I just kind of go in there and think of it's like a normal day of fighting, like what I do every day kind of thing. And I don't really want to think of it much more as that. I feel like my last couple fights have been title contention fights, and I put so much pressure on myself to do good and so much pressure on myself to perform. And honestly, like feel like I got lost in like how much I wanted to perform and how much I want to impress and how much I wanted that belt that I almost lost the joy of what the sport is, and lost myself in a little bit of the job instead of loving the sport properly the way I have been for the last years. So it's easy to get kind of worked up and just making this like, oh, okay, I need to do this to get the title shot. I need to do this. I need to do that compared to just enjoying every aspect of it, enjoying that I'm a UFC fighter. I'm in the UFC and I'm doing what I love every day. And I feel like this camp, I just was a lot more grateful, had a lot more fun, and try to just take the pressure off, man. This is the first time in like a year that I haven't fought for like a specifically title fight. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of nice. Like, or it's nice knowing that like, I don't know. I don't know. Like my Pantoja fight right before the fight, I'm hearing like, oh, okay, this is for a title now. Like if I win, I go fight for the belt. And it's like, it's kind of a lot of pressure to put on yourself and to get put in, especially when I was only 3 fights in at the UFC at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, right now I'm just kind of learning to enjoy everything, enjoy the process of it, and then just enjoy the process of getting ready for a fight, man. Because this is the sport I love, and sometimes I forget that I love it.
Excellent tactic. I love that because it's change of perspective, and you're right. It does
Yeah.
decrease the pressure, but of course, you know. Uh, is there anything that you specifically worked on? Actually, I wanted to add up to that question earlier, but I wanted to ask this since you talked about enjoying the fight and taking things one fight at a time instead of looking at the broad picture. What did you work on specifically in this camp, just for this guy?
Specifically for me is just not rushing things. I was kind of thinking of like what started off like of like what I was contemplating is like how's Bontorin gonna beat me? Like why would they accept this fight? And like what is his strategy in the fight? Like, if I could see how Bontorin and his skills were able to win this fight somehow, how would he be able to do that? And I kind of put together how I thought his path to victory would go and how to negate that. And I think it all fits together. On his path to victory is always a mistake that I do is just like you said, I started off like a house on fire, and I think that's kind of how I fight a little bit is like the house is on fire, and sometimes I get
Yeah,
a little burnt in my own flame. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I wanna use that flame to just cook me some food. You know what I'm saying? Cook some grub and heat the house. I'm not trying to burn it down. It's just use that fire that I have in me and just control it a little bit. If I can control it, channel it, then we're that firefighter that Teddy Atlas always talks about. Then I'm a firefighter. Then I know how to manage that fire. I know how to manage that flame. Then I'm not burning my own house down and ruining my chances of winning. And that's how I feel about it too. Is just if I can calm myself down a little bit, know when to put the heat on and when to take it off, then we'll get the house cooking. You know what I'm saying? But
that's it.
if not, if I stay burning through, I'm gonna tear the whole house down and tear the whole block down and possibly ruin my career.
Definitely. In fact, I saw an interview of yours earlier, and you were saying like, um, instead of just instead of trying to like get those bonuses and fight of the night stuff, it's just concentrate on just fighting. Go back to the basics and just do it because you love it, and of course, you need to get a win, right?
Mhm.
I'm curious, Brandon. I wouldn't know. I'm coming from a position I wouldn't know. Do fighter does that when people go for that, does it change the pressure? Like, okay, I gotta get a bonus. I gotta get fight of the night. Gotta get performance of the night. I wouldn't know. This is an honest to goodness question.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it changes the pressure, but it definitely changes how I approach the fight. Is I tend to
Mm,
move forward a lot more. I tend to just throw recklessly and kind of move forward with reckless abandonment. And I think that's a little bit where some of my mistakes have gone, at least with the Pantoja fight. The Moreno fight, obviously, my shoulder was compromised, but that Pantoja fight was a little bit more of I kind of burned myself in the heat of things, and I like the way you said that analogy, by the way. So that's why I'm going to keep using it. But kind of burnt myself in the mix of the fire, So I don't know. It's just kind of like slow myself down and realize that I don't need to go finish a fight first round, and that me going crazy and doing ballistic things isn't always what's going to lead to 50 G's and lead to bonuses, and it could very well lead to the ending of my own the fight on like more of my demise, So it's just slowing things down and realizing I'm capable of going chaotic. I'm capable of lighting the whole block on fire, but at the same time, it's like I'm also capable of just slow cooking this motherfucker.
yeah, yeah. It's more tactical in the approach. Know when to, as you said, know when to turn on the heat. And I think that's an excellent approach because you know the I've seen some guys crash and burn, giving everything in the first round, and then when they get to the second, third round, they got nothing left in the tank.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And like in my opinion of all that is anybody I go against, if we're going cardio for cardio and we're both trying to light the house on fire, I'm gonna win that fight every time because I have good cardio. But it's like it also just leads to too many mistakes, And it's like if I'm making mistakes out there, it leads to a chance of me getting finished. And zero mistakes is like zero probability of me getting finished out there. So it's just narrowing down the possibilities, still taking my chances and still being the same fighter that I am, because you can't take that away from me. But
definitely,
because then that's also what wins me fights and makes me great, But it's just controlling it a little bit and then just having a little bit of self control in these fights.
right. The last question I wanted to ask for you was, I know that you used to work with these kids, these JDs and all that. Can you? I think that's fascinating because it takes a special person to work with people like that. You got to have great patience, great understanding. In many ways, you got to be like a role model. Have those kids seen you where you're at today, and are they inspired by you?
Yeah, well, one of the cool things is like they gotta watch it happen, you know. As like I was telling them from the beginning, it's like I'm like you guys, like I didn't come from the best neighborhood, I didn't get good grades, I wasn't passing school, I was never a standout student, but you know, like they saw me work my ass off, they saw me going to work, they saw I had to make a switch to working days to work overnights, and they were there when that happened. And it's like it was an adjustment for all of us because I spend all day every day, like I spend at least 50 hours a week at that place working with them all day, getting to know these kids, forming these relationships. And then they see that I have to go overnight, and then they see like one, they know I'm winning fights and all this stuff, but they can see me with bloodshot eyes and they're like, did you sleep today? And I was like, no, I didn't get any sleep, I had training all day, like I couldn't sleep today, but you know, I'll sleep tomorrow morning for a little bit, you know, I'll get a couple hours then. And they got to see all these sacrifices I had to make. And also just like that job, I like you form a lot of good relationships, and you see so much potential in these kids, man. And I think that's the hardest part I'm struggling with now, is now that these kids are starting to get out and having freedom is like the last week I had two kids that I worked with very closely, like not like not like ran into every once in a while, but like on a day in, day out basis. I would talk to these kids, I'd check in with these kids, I would see where they're at, I knew their, like, you know, I knew their family life, I knew their kids' names, all the above. And it's like, then they go out and then they make some mistake, which leads to their death. You know, I had two kids die this last week.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I had two kids die last week that I worked with on like a weekly basis, you know, or daily basis, and like at least 5 days a week, you know. And it's heartbreaking because you see all the potential that these kids have, and like you get to know them, and like man, you know, when you're dumb, you're young, man, you don't necessarily believe in yourself, you see a certain way in life, and like I don't know, man, like these two kids specifically is just like I see all the potential in the world with them, I see myself in them, I see my friends in them, and it's like these kids just make some horrible choices or bad choices that lead to their death, or they're immersed in this gang life in Colorado. Like a couple of these kids are like a handful of these kids that I work with, a lot of them are in gangs, you know. And it's like then they get outside, and it's like even if they are a good person in their head and all that, it's like they're portrayed as like a opposition, or like a or like someone's enemy. So it's like there's no remorse when it comes in the streets, they get shot. And it's like it's so sad to see. And it's like someone that you spend time with, you learned about all that stuff, and you see something that they'll never even see in themselves yet. And it's like they're too young to see it, they don't believe in themselves yet. And then you see them pass away, and something happens, you know, when they turn 18, 17, whatever it is. And it's just like, man, that's a waste, that's so much potential, you know. And man, like I said, working that system, those kids, some of those kids are leaders, they're just born in the wrong household, you know, they're born in the wrong situation. And
Right.
it's really heartbreaking to see, man. It's truly heartbreaking to see. And I really wish there was better ways of reform in Colorado, but not the case. And I don't know, man. Like I said, if anytime, like I know like a handful of kids that got out scot-free, but since I've left, at least 10, 11 kids have died since I left. And once they got out, something happened that led to their death. And it's been horrible, man. It's a heartbreaking job. It's a heartbreaking job, but also some of the days that it's rewarding, it could be the most rewarding, you know. And I don't know. You live with a lot of that weirdness, and I don't know. I want to go back eventually. I have to go back.
You know what? When we were given the opportunity to interview you, I was really excited about it. I immediately told the UFC, yeah, I want to interview Brandon because I'm familiar with his background. And I said, and look, anyone who does this stuff, anyone who does work with JDs and all that, this guy's special because it takes a special person to work with kids like that. So he gets them, he understands them. But I wanted to find, because you have an inspiring story, and I said, wow, you know, I'm excited about this guy, Brandon. I've seen his fights. I was disappointed when you lost, very disappointed. But it can't be helped. Everybody takes a loss at some point, right? Yeah. But I was, you know, I'm hoping these kids look to you as inspiration because you have an inspiring story, man.
And I know sometimes, and I knew like when I was in the juvie, like that was kind of like a little bit of my main goal, is just to like inspire some kids. And like, I wasn't necessarily trying to turn anybody into a fighter because I don't necessarily believe that's the correct path to anything. But I definitely wanted. I'm glad that a lot of them were able to, like a handful of kids I worked with on a day in day out basis, because I worked in a long term facility, which is like they were there for multiple years. So a handful of kids got to see me make my dreams come true, and they got to see, like I said, a lot of us were born in the same neighborhoods, and it's like I said, at least some of them got to see that aspect of it, and if they don't take anything away from that, then so be it. But I hope they take away from our conversations and the moments that we had together, and as much as rare as they were and as weird as an authority figure I was, because like in the juvie, I have to tell them what to do too. Like I have to be an authority figure. I have to keep justice, make sure they're not punking each other, not fighting, all this stuff. So it's like you're a little bit of an authority figure, but I always teetered that line of like, okay, I know I'm in charge of you guys, but that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to boss you around. I'm not here to punk you around, throw you around, or any of that stuff. I'm here to and I don't know, become a better person with you guys.
Right. Well, you're a good man, Brandon. You're a good man. And,
I appreciate that.
I hope that. That's why, as I said earlier, I was excited to do this interview, and I do hope that you'll be able to inspire kids and through what you're doing, help them choose a better path.
Like I said, some weeks it's nice. Some weeks I hear about like a kid doing something or just had another baby and whatever, he's doing the right thing, got a job, and then some weeks you hear about a kid overdosing or getting shot. And
I know
this was that week.
Ultimately, they have to make their own choices, and that's the sad thing when they choose to make the wrong decision, right?
And it's crazy to think that you're just one decision away from changing your life. And usually if you're just one decision away from changing your life, it's usually a bad decision and your life's going for the worst way, so it's just one mistake can be the worst mistake.
I know. Oh, the last thing, I hope you don't mind, as Relly said earlier, there are a lot of fight fans over here and they'll be watching your fight this Sunday. Can you invite the Filipino fans to come out and support you and watch you for your fight?
Yeah. I mean, I want you guys to come watch me and fight, but hopefully if you guys do watch me fight, I can keep you guys as fans, because I know I'm a little exciting. I'm trying not to be as exciting this fight, but I am who I am, and I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be out there. So we'll see what I can change, but also I'm probably gonna stay a lot of the same too. So.
All right, wonderful. Do you mind if we get a virtual picture with you, Brandon?
Yeah. Just let me know when to smile or when not to smile.
Okay, here. Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. Smile, dude. Really, I'm a fan of Brandon, man.
So am I, man.
He's a good guy. Hope he gets a win,
man.
Get a win, man.
Heart of gold, man. Heart of gold.
It happened.
Yeah, get a win. Good luck, man. Good luck.
Right, good luck, Brandon.
Hopefully we can talk to you again soon, man. Take care.
Right.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Galing niya. Sorry na matagal kasi.
No, that's good. At least that kind of his whole story with the kids. Yeah. Yan ang that's gonna hook. Diba?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. And when Lily offered Brandon, I said, I said yes right away. I normally did not. Usually I wait for you. I said, no, I want to. Yeah, unfortunate lang the loss talaga. But he's a really good fighter, Ayun, okay.
Nice.
Pare, you want to pause the recording?